What's good, everybody? It's Mr. Composition, the MC that writes fiction, and we are back. Black Clover is back. Oh my gosh! Yo, the Black Clover chapter 379 and 380 leaks and spoilers are out. Now, I'm gonna do them both in this video because the leaks and spoilers, like there's a lot that's translated, but I'm gonna do the review in the separate videos, but oh man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Now I got into this Discord and they have like all the images and everything like that. So I'll leave the Discord link if you want to join this person's Discord. But man, where do we leave off? Asta, was sitting up there putting belt to ass when it came to Lucius, but I had a feeling. I had a feeling. I'm just all like, yo, this is just, you know, it just seems like everything's going too smooth. I was just all like, yo, Lucius has the ability to make undying bodies. I'm all like, if they defeated them, i.e., Marileona defeated Morris, the Silver siblings beated Acia, and Ichigo and Yami beating Morgan, I'm just all like, but they'll be back. And oh man, here we are at 379. It gets crazy. So it starts off with Vanessa talks about beating all the Luciuses as you see all the fighters, the Black Bulls. There's this dope panel with William Vengeance, man, with veins freaking popping out. I was just all like, yo, I was seeing people on Twitter just all like, yo, I was not familiar with your game, William. Um, and then this is where stuff gets crazy. Rebecca, remember Rebecca that had the siblings that had the crush on Oscar? That Asta, they did the whole double date or whatever thing. That's Rebecca. She points out that the grimoire tower is shiny. Lucius congrats Asta and Yuna and makes a remark about how it's time. Uh, for the descent of the great wizard emperor. It's so funny because he's done changed the name of this joint like so many times. Asta realizes that the one that they killed was a mere clone, which I knew that, like I'm just all like, there's no way that Lucius was actually there. And I'm seeing someone who made a point that was just all like, yo, Lucius's clones might be the strongest clones in anime, which they was just all like they're stronger than the Naruto clones, the shadow clones, and different things like that. And I definitely think so. But I'm just like strongest in anime. I'm trying to think of like the strongest character who can multiply themselves and what that means. But let me know in the comments if you know any other stronger. But Lucius states that it took a while to create them, but they brought enough time for my main body to remain safe and sound from danger. Now, Lucius is connected to every grimoire tower in the kingdom by using extreme ultimate magic. Even this far out, we're getting new freaking magics. Lucius just starts the monologue about how basically we get some crazy lore about souls, the grimoires, and how they're connected, which is crazy. So he's like, from the birth of mankind itself, the grimoires scattered all over the earth have been stored. He then proposes a question to Asta and Yuna. What do you think the true form of the grimoire is? To which he answers with, it's a God-given wisdom. They increase mankind's innate magical power and further power the phenomenon come to known as magic, which is crazy. Now, Lucius then raises another question about where the grimoires of dead mages go. The answer to which is back to the Grimoire Tower. And I've seen some people on Twitter make some very good points. We've seen as far as like what happened with Lick, with the reincarnated elves, with them being able to have access as far as to their grimoires, and different things like that, their magic. So there's different things with that. Now, he then asks a rhetorical question. What happens to all the spells and magic that was inscribed into that grimoire? That too safe keeps itself in the grimoire tower, where it can be used again as time passes generation by generation to its next wielder. Now that Lucius is connected to all the grimoire towers, he also wields all the magic in those towers, which is crazy because a couple of people pointed out, is it just the Clover Kingdom, or is he able to get all of the grimoires from the Spade Kingdom, from the Heart Kingdom, from the Diamond Kingdom, of people who have passed? So that's interesting. Now, this is where things get crazy. Kaiser, well, not Kaiser. It's the bigger, the dude from the Purple Orcs, and Revshi, the one with chain magics. I don't know why they put Kaiser, because Kaiser is the dude with the mustache with the vortex magic or whatever. Kaiser, well, the Purple Orc dude says things have calmed down, while Repchi proclaims that he'll live no matter what. And then Lucius teleports behind him. Mark's nervous, says he doesn't know what's happening in hopes that Yuna Asta is safe and sound. Mimosa asks Marks how many wounded remain, but gets no answer. Mark has disappeared, and now all three of them appear next to Lucius. Lucius demonstrates just how the idea works. He kills, his name is Gildry. He kills Rebchi, Marks, and Gildry in an instant, and you see their grimoires start to fizzle away. Yuno gets attacked by Rebchi's chain magic, replicated everything from the first volume, son. I'm almost tempted to freaking pull it up and be like, this is it right here. Let me see. I actually think it's not too far away here. I'll make some edits if need be. But yeah, this is him right here. He gets with this is where Asta gets his freaking grimoire, which I think is gonna parallel a lot. As you can see, I don't know if you can really see it, but yeah, that was in the first volume, son. It was in the first volume. Now, Asta immediately dispels the change, but he's clearly worried. Lucius then exclaims that it's important for the Clover Kingdom to witness the moment that Asta and Yuno draw their last breath, and he uses Mark's, whatchamacallit, and he's broadcasting. Now, Ryu comes up, and he's just like, all of the magic, it's being used by Lucius. What I need to do now is, and then Ryu tells Fuji, the sound fighter, to do a song, and Ryu says that if they've been marked, then it doesn't matter how far they are, his sound will still reach him, which is interesting because I'm just all like, maybe he might be able to either teleport, bring him there, which is interesting because I'm just all like, was it Sister Lily that really did the teleportation and got him out of there, or who actually did that to get him at the land of the rising sun? Because I feel like all of that's gonna play later on. Now, Asta's just that he hears Ryu, and Ryu's just all like, just as I thought, the guy still got to dodge his anti-magic attacks. And he says that Ryu says Lucius is concentrating a lot of magic power into the crystal of his, which is in the center. Asta over there, your Zetan's a real game changer, even against a kind of powerful magic never seen before. Lucius then says, do not fret, Asta. Ryu's thinking Asta's mom, which is crazy because Lucius literally brings like a clone of Asta's mother, which Asta hasn't seen, but Libe's seen. This completely scrambles the devil union. And then Libe's just all like, I can't bring myself to do it, even if it's a ghost. And then boom, Devil Union comes done, and then both Asta and Libe get hurt fatally. Now that's what it's saying. It says editor's note, a foul blow struck both boys. Now this is why we have to like get the actual officials to know exactly what's being done. But I have a theory. If this is a fatal wound, this isn't the first fatal wound that Asta's received, you know, but I can see a future where Libe sacrifices himself, his existence, so that Asta can live. You know, I do see something in regards to that, and that may unlock Asta's final power-up, which is his actual magic itself, which I don't know. That's just a theory, but that's 379. So what's crazy, 379, quick recap, Lucius ain't dead. You know, apparently this is his actual body that has appeared, and he's in a new form. You know, people was comparing it to Aizen and everything like that. He's in a new form. He instantly kills 3 people that we know, which is just wild. Like Mark's RIP, man. He was a real one. And to me, I'm just all like, does Julius not feel any of this? Is there any way that Julius can be able to fight back against this in any type of way? You know, but let's go ahead and get, you know, in the chapter 380, which goes into even more crazier stuff. Apparently it's titled In the Brink of Despair. Now, hey, Asta the Black Bulls know all about despair. Yami know all about despair. Mr. Despair that they had to dispatch of. Now, what I was saying before, the parallels from the first chapter. Now, again, what else happened on the first chapter? Asta gets his grimoire, you know. Now, I don't know if this is going to parallel to, again, Asta getting a crazy power-up. We can see it. But everybody's now seeing this, and they're just like, Ichika, Ryu's like, Asta. Rebecca's just like, no, Father Arcee, Asta, the kingdom stares in disbelief. Yami's like, that unbelievable brat cannot die. And Noelle's just like, now, I forgot to mention the full color spray. Now, the reason why I bring that up, because a lot of people are still shipping Mimosa and Asta. Me personally, I'm like Noelle and Asta. There's all of that stuff that's being built up, and it just hasn't been the same for Mimosa. Yes, Mimosa has been there to heal and different things like that, but I feel like that would be almost on the level of Goku not getting with Bulma, you know, because they were kids, they built up all that. Not saying that there weren't moments as far as with Chi-Chi and Goku when they were kids, because there was, but there was all of that stuff that was built between Goku and Bulma, you know, for them to just stay, you know, whatever, and for him to go for Chi-Chi. So there might be that's going on, like Mimosa may be the Chi-Chi in this situation, and Noelle may be Bulma. I don't know. But there was a lot of theories people were saying as far as within that picture, and the only reason I brought that up was because Noelle's response. But Lucius, then the ground starts to tremble as more disgusting looking angels begin to form themselves. So it's like the angels that we were originally seeing, it was almost like a cocoon. And so now the actual angels are starting to break out, which is this grotesque form, which some people are saying like the biblically accurate form of an angel. Now, Morris, Aesir, Morgan are now back to life, which I do. I'm just like, yo, he has undying bodies. He could just recreate them, you know? And so Yami is Noctis just like, that thing is not Morgan anymore. Yami's thinking this goes too far with human life. And Yami's just like, Lucius, you know. He says to Asta, I really did think I killed you once already, yet you live. This time I'll make sure to confirm your death. And then Ryu's just all like, what's all this power? Yuno's always been a real strong guy, but these are his full powers. And this is because Yuno takes off his Never Never Land, which I would imagine all of that. I would say even the same thing with Asta. I mean, having to share power, like, we got to bring it back now, and Yuno's just all like, he's all like, it's incredibly bad, but I have to end it all here. So I think that Yuno's going to be on the verge of doing a crazy attack that isn't going to do what we think, but Asta come in with the that kind of final blow type of thing. But there's gonna be an issue that happens, because I think that what Lucius did as far as that, it's gonna mess up the Devil Union. And I feel, like I said, if I may be wrong, but I feel like Libe may sacrifice herself. It's just like, instead of them both dying, Libe's just all like, look, brother. Even now, it's just making me think like, oh, that's gonna be so sad. It's gonna be so sad, because I'm also trying to figure out how they're going to actually end this, because he could straight up end it right now, as far as with this fight with Lucius. But I feel like we still got Adremelech. I feel like the reason Leopold or the Earth Spirit, even homie from the Diamond King, like why all these people have not been around, is, me personally, I feel like it's not going to end here. I feel like they're going to receive major defeat, and maybe the people who quote unquote survive are the people that are on the color spread, which would be crazy. And someone also brought out an interesting thing. They was like, Coach, why do you have your sister close to you in this battle? And I was just all like, now I gotta go back and read, because I'm just all like, yo, when did that happen? Because it was not the whole battle, unless he went somewhere near her and the protector to keep her. I don't know, that may be it, but let me know, because they brought up a good point. Now says that, hey, we're the best. We make up the Magic Knights of the Clover Kingdom, and I have trust in them, which, that's all fine and dandy, but they really do need that. Never. So Zora, the Black Bulls, basically, they give like a hoorah, and they're just like, our anti-magic reserves are all gone, huh? Can't be helped. Manga's all like, completely fine by me. Bring it. Looks all like, I haven't had my fill yet. Ghost is like, Asta's definitely not gonna die. And then but you are seeing the morale of the people start to break. They're just all like, I can't, like, yo, Asta, like, yo, what are we gonna do? Mimosa's just all like, Asta. Lucius gets hit by some of Yuno's attacks. Lucius is just all like, quite brilliant, however. Now, this is this part, but from what I remember from everything that's going on with the last part of it, so what ends up happening is, basically the last couple of pages, we see either get Asta's anti-magic sword, or Asta gives him some anti-magic. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we have a dope page, and Yuno's just all like, hey, you're gonna be right behind me, right, Asta? Asta's all like, yeah, I'm gonna be there, just give me a second. And it ends with with both his magic and Asta's anti-magic, and a lot of people are just like, yo, can't be getting these dope ass power-ups all the freaking time, man, because be getting some of the most ridiculous power-ups. But I mean, it was not far-fetched, due to the fact that I was all like, is Yuno gonna get some anti-magic? I was thinking the same with, Yami and Noelle as well. I'm just all like, are they gonna get some of the anti-magic as well? So it's not far-fetched But it would be crazy though if he has his actual sword just coated in anti-magic, because it's just all like, how is that possible? So it's gonna be interesting. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. But man, I'm so hyped. I can't wait for the full translations, and I would be so happy if we get a third chapter. Like, it kind of sucks that it is only two, because I mean, kind of been waiting. You know what I mean? Like, another one, the third one. But all in all, this was so dope. I am hyped. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. It's Miss Composition, the MC that writes fiction. Back at it with another video. Black Clover's back, man. Anyways, y'all, peace. Before we get into that, this video is sponsored by me. Hey, if you want to dive into new music, I have a catalog. Yeah. These are not singles, these are albums. But more recently this year, I did release an album called Tame Chaos. So you can listen, stream, download, purchase all of that in the link in the description. And just, check it out, because I want to see if people are actually seeing this and going to the site. So anyway.